Welcome back, everybody. This video is on one of my favourite topics, actually, sleep. And sleep is really important because if we don't get a good night's sleep, we can get up all grumpy, we can get up all lethargic, and if we've had a really good night's sleep, we can get up and we're full of energy. And to be honest, I struggle with sleep from time to time. And I'm going to share with you in this video some of the tips that I've used when I find it difficult. You know, there are times when I could go a day, 2, 3 days, where I'm not sleeping well. You know, I go through the motions of being in bed, but my actual quality of sleep isn't really very good. And if you suffer with that from time to time, and what you really crave is a really good night's sleep, so that when you get up you're really buzzing, then you need to watch this video very carefully. So, we know that sleep is important for both our physical and mental health. That goes without saying. And, you know, particularly around about now, where our routines have changed, where we may not be going to bed at the times when we used to when we were in school, and we may not be getting up when we used to. Clearly, our sleep patterns are going to be affected badly. And I've said that in this bullet point here. So have you found that your sleeping patterns have changed? And how has that affected you? Are you not sleeping at night but tired during the day? Are you not sleeping at night, tired during the day, and that's making you grumpy and a little bit miserable? Okay, so if that's you, then listen carefully and watch carefully. So look, every slide of mine has some prompts, some questions that we really ask of ourselves, okay? And so the first, here are some enough. So at what time do you usually go to bed? I mean, over this period, what time are you essentially getting to bed? Have you been struggling to get to sleep? Has your amount of sleep or lack of sleep affected your mood? It will do. Okay, we talked a bit about that sort of grumpiness around not having slept very well the night before. Do you feel tired during the day? Because that will affect the way you are. If I don't sleep well the night before, my whole day is spent being a little bit lethargic, to be honest. I'm sort of lacking motivation. Are you waking up at your usual time? And these are all questions. Now, I haven't got any answers yet. We'll talk about answers in a moment. Do you know who you can talk to if you need to, if you are having problems with your sleep? Again, it's that friend, teacher, adult, member of the family. It's somebody else, staying connected with somebody else. Somebody that you can trust. Somebody that you can share your daily lived experience with. So, just a couple of facts. Teens need about 8 to 10 hours of sleep each night to function best. Most teens do not get enough sleep. One study found that only 15% reported 8.5 hours on school nights. So, you know, this is not a problem that's unique to you. We know that teens suffer with, you know, not getting enough sleep. So what can we do about this? Not getting enough sleep or having sleeping difficulties can, if we don't do something about it, it can certainly limit your ability to learn, listen and concentrate. But if you're falling asleep during the day, you're not going to be learning much, to be honest, and you'll not be able to remember things like names and numbers. It could also make you more prone to pimples. I didn't know that. Lack of sleep can contribute to acne and other skin problems. And it can also lead to aggressive or inappropriate behaviour, such as yelling at your friends or being impatient with other people you live with, simply because you're tired. And that's making you frustrated, and that's making you short-tempered. And you've got to watch out for that, because if that is how you are, that's going to affect the people that, you know, you live with or your friends. And, you know, we can do something about that. So, what are the things that can stop me from sleeping? Well, we need to avoid these things, clearly. If these are the things that can stop me from sleeping, to avoid these things. The first one, and you probably know this, but I'll put it out there already, is caffeine, especially in the evenings. Right? check the ingredients on your drinks. Some soft drinks have caffeine in them. Now we've talked about this because obviously we don't have those things in school when you're in school. We don't allow those things in school when you're in school. But you may be having them at home now. So avoid them, especially late at night. Because I'll tell you right now, somebody who does suffer with some sleep deprivation, that is something you should avoid. Spending time on your phone or laptop just before you're ready to sleep. This is a no-no. If the last thing, if you're in bed and you're on your phone and you're still chatting with someone or you're reading something off your phone, that's not going to help. Okay? Try not to sleep in for much longer or stay up much later when you think that you don't need to be up. So what that really means is, don't, in the morning when you're ready, get up and get going. At night time, don't sit there, don't prolong not sleeping. Have a routine. It might be difficult to begin with. It's going to be difficult to begin with. You've got to set your alarm. You've got to be strict about it. I'm going to go up by this time. I'm going to get up at this time. My alarm clock will go off. Remember the first slide? You get up, you get ready, you get dressed, get working. Remember the second slide? I talked about planning for something nice at the end of each day. Every day, plan for that treat. Do X, Y, and Z. Look forward to it all day. Then get it done. Remember the thing about stay connected? Make time to connect with positive people, share positive ideas. By all means, watch the news and follow positive bloggers. Keep a diary. Some people, I told you earlier on, I don't keep a diary, but I know people who do keep a diary. And if you are struggling with your sleep, try keeping a sleep diary for a week so that you sort of get some sense of how well you're sleeping or how well you're not sleeping. So there's a record of it. Make a note of what you eat and drink, how much exercise you are getting, what time you go to bed, what time you get up. Because sleep is really important. We can't brush it under the carpet. We can't ignore it. We're going to be talking about mental health and well-being. Sleep is key. So if we've got a problem with the sleep, we've got to sort this out. And some of the ideas here are obvious, but they have a big impact. And just for me personally, the caffeine one is the one that helps. If I have a drink with caffeine in it just before I go to bed, that's it. I can't sleep then. I'll be tossing and turning. It just won't work for me. And see what works for you. And it's important to establish a good routine and habits around sleeping and bedtime. As much as possible, go to sleep, wake up and get out of bed at the same time each day. It's really important. I've got into the routine now that even if I'm off like a Saturday or a Sunday, I'm pretty much up at the same time, so at least my eyes are open at the same time. And I have to remind myself it's a Saturday. I still try to get up because I want to use the whole day ahead of me. I don't want to get up late and lose half of the day. Make sure your bedroom is associated with sleeping and not with being awake and active, i.e. Your bedroom is a place where you go to sleep, right? Which is coming back to the point about using social media or technology in your bedroom because you've still got your phone there. Turn your phone off, or if you've got some bedtime music that you like listening to, put some music on if that's what you want. But it really is a place for sleep. Read a book or listen to an audiobook. That could be really helpful. I don't use an audiobook because when I take an audiobook upstairs to bed, I sometimes find that I can't sleep because I'm so into the book, if that makes sense. So I've stopped taking an audiobook, listen to an audiobook before I go to sleep, because that keeps me awake because I want to know what's going to happen next. But music definitely works for me. Certain types of calming music work for me. In fact, last night I was listening to some calming music, which did help. I use an alarm clock. My alarm clock I have on my phone. My phone is off. It's beside my bed, and that's what I use for alarms. Everyone needs a different amount of sleep. Just make sure you're getting enough. You'll know what enough is. Enough is when you don't feel lethargic and you don't feel tired the following day. I think I get just about enough because I generally don't feel that lethargic during the school day. I get tired towards the end of the school day, which is what you would get anyway, which is natural because towards the end of the school day, right? But remember, I'm upbeat even then because I plan for something when I get home. There are some really good resources around sleep. Here are some links. If you are struggling with sleep, obviously there's a Young People's Health website, and there's a raisingchildren.net website. They talk about sleep, but it is something that's really quite important. And you need to, some of the tips that I've shared with you in this presentation, give them a go. This is all about, this is a holistic view, a complete picture around well-being and mental health. There's no one thing that we do which will improve our overall mental health and well-being. There are these things that have an impact on our mental health and well-being. Sleep is clearly one of them. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Check out these resources, these websites, and I'll see you in the next video.